It's a... Okay, everyone, we just got the okay from our videographer to begin. So we're just going to ask board members to finish signing in. And we are going to begin. I'm going to just turn it over to Sandy Vallis. Okay, Sandy, it's all yours.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. At this time, you should please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to ask from the floor for adoption to the agenda. Julie. And second, Habib. I also need an adoption for the minutes. Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up our council person, Kayla Santosuoso. And her Land Use Division Committee, Gabriela Valerino, okay, and Omar Toro Vaca. Did I get that right?
Good evening, everybody. We are here to speak with you about an idea that we have of conducting a neighborhood plan. And I am here because I was very pleased when you all voted on the 9305 application, Fifth Avenue. You led with the recommendation that that be included in a community plan, essentially saying this is a big enough proposed development that this needs to be part of an overall plan for the neighborhood and for the area. And I was very pleased to see that because separately on the side, I had been doing the same thing, asking for a community plan. And the reason I was doing that is in response to the charter changes that came about from the ballot proposals that passed in November. So I don't know if you remember, but there were these ballot proposals that essentially say for the 10 community districts, right? It's 12 community districts that have produced the least housing in the last 15 years will now have a total change of process that cuts the city council and our vote from rezoning applications. This is a drastic change. It dilutes your power as community board representatives. It dilutes our power as constituents in this neighborhood. And what it essentially does is fast tracks the production of housing. And in response to that, I wanted to try to convene a neighborhood plan so that we all could get on the same page with the city, with the relevant agencies on board, and say this is where we're okay with building housing, this is the housing where we want to see it, these are the infrastructure investments, and these are the things that we will need to make this livable, and this is what we want the housing to look like so that it fits within the character of our neighborhood. So I have been proactively trying to secure the possibility of doing that, and was pleased that you all recommended that as well in response to 9305. So what I'm here to do today with the folks from the City Council Land Use team is to talk about what a neighborhood plan would look like, what it entails, and how much we need your participation in order to make this a good and positive and robust thing for our neighborhood. So I am going to let Gabriela and Omar speak about this plan. They're the experts here, and talk to you about this, and then we hope that we will get your support, and we'll be around for questions as well. So I'm going to hand it over to Gabriela.
Hello, everyone. Like the council member said, my name is Gabriela, and we're here today to discuss a potential neighborhood plan, build the reasons why we need that, what that could look like, what are existing conditions on the ground today, and a call to action to get involved once this really kicks off. So we're going to jump right in, building on the why we're here, why are we talking about this, and why now. It's in response to two things. First, we're going to start by talking about the city's Fair Housing Framework, which is a citywide housing plan that is required every 5 years with the goal in mind to ensure that every district is contributing housing fairly. So every 5 years, there will be housing production targets for every community district. The first of that is set to release in October of this year, so that's not yet out there, but it's coming. And this plan may flag areas with restrictive zoning districts for reform to meet these targets. So I know we're looking at this map here. The dark blue is really standing out, and that is areas of the city that built most housing. So if you kind of direct your attention to where we are right now, we have a little arrow pointing to Bay Ridge. You can see it's very white, and that's signifying that CB10 produced only 523 units in this 10-year period, which is the lowest of any Brooklyn Community Board. So in response to this and the city charter changes that the council member was just describing, that's why we're here today. So specifically, the city charter change, that is the fast track for housing in 12 designated community districts. 12 districts will be selected based on lowest affordable housing production and housing projects that, therefore, within those districts that have a minimum of affordability involved will have a fast track review process where the council members' review will not be included. So this graphic on the side is showing you a typical ULURP process that you might be familiar with as attendees of the community board. It first starts with 60 days of review for a CV, then the borough presidents get 30 days, city planning commission gets 60, and it ends with the council getting 50 to 65 days. The new process for these 12 districts that will begin next year has a simultaneous community board and borough president review, and then the process will end at the city planning commission and would skip the city council review. So therefore, we're here today in response to these two things. But specifically, I wanted to just shout this out. Although the list is not released yet, we can use data that's available to us right now and surmise that CB10 is definitely going to be impacted by this charter change, as they're at the top of the list for the least amount of affordable housing built. So therefore, with these two things in mind, the benefits of studying a neighborhood plan now is first and foremost to proactively win back the community power by escaping the fast track status, as well as putting the community and not individual developers in charge of shaping that growth. And lastly, that would allow us to unlock critical city funding and long-term planning investment into the community. Next, we're going to move on to introducing the study area a bit, which is Bay Ridge, more specifically surrounding the Bay Ridge Triangle, as I'm sure many of you are very familiar with, probably travel through this area every single day. But right here we have a land use map. So as you can see with the different colors reading through this map, it's a varied land use, but we do know that there's a very strong transit hub here, especially at the end of the R train. There's a high share of commercial and auto uses in this area, which kind of tends to divide the community. And lastly, we're noting that there's limited open space in this area, as well as exemplified through lack of green coming through on this map. And next, we're looking at a zoning map. So as you can see, the triangle really stands out in this map as this dark red and a lighter red shade, and that is exemplifying a C82 zoning district in the dark red. And it's worth noting that this area, the triangle itself, it allows most type of commercial development, but it does not allow housing in this area whatsoever. And how does that land use and zoning play out on the ground? What can we see? What can we observe? So these are some photos I took while traveling through the area. And we really see this heavy auto concentration here, right? There's a lot of auto body shops, a lot of car dealerships, and this C82 zoning really encourages these car dealerships and shops to locate directly adjacent to housing and transit. And this causes cars to spill into pedestrian spaces, which can cause unsafe conditions. I'm sure we've all seen at least one car on a sidewalk in this area, fair to say. Continuing with existing conditions of what we're observing on the ground now, we have some recent rezonings and new buildings to shout out. to echo the council member a bit more, we have the two most recent ULURPs, and currently on the one on the right is the Staples site, as we're all very aware of. But these single one-off private rezonings are slowly starting to shape the area, and that comes with no community investment or really a major guiding vision to shape that growth in the way the community would like to see it. So with all that being said, we understand why we're here now. We understand what we're kind of looking at, what's the existing conditions. So how can we move forward, and what would something like a proactive planning process look like? So we'd first start out with visioning an announcement, kind of where we are at right now, which would lead us into community engagement. That would involve various community events that you would all be invited to come out, give your input, and really help shape this plan. So once we finish the community engagement, we can synthesize what we've heard, and that will help us form a framework for a neighborhood plan. And with that framework, we would then enter into a neighborhood rezoning that would come with various commitments. And the result of what we would see is the ability to unlock growth and a city investment where the community thinks it makes the most sense. And some potential goals that we identified so far and that will be reshaped and grown throughout the community engagement process as identified by you all. But just a starting place, support housing growth that fits the neighborhood character through community planning, secure city investments and community serving infrastructure, and improve safety, walkability, and quality of open space. And what I really want to emphasize today and really bog down is that neighborhood planning is way more than just housing. I know a lot of times when we have these conversations, everyone thinks housing and zoning, and while of course that is an essential part of this, it really involves way more than just housing. It allows us to take a holistic look at the neighborhood as a whole and has opportunities for investment in various aspects of a community. Some examples could be economic and workforce development, sanitation, quality of life, streetscape improvements, beautification, community facilities. There'd be opportunities for development on public lands, such as some community facilities, and lastly, improvements of public open space and recreation space. So really, it's way more than just housing that we're talking about, although we are responding to some housing issues. This plan would allow us to have a really holistic look and investment into this area. And our key takeaways, what we really want you to come home with today is, firstly, that we can proactively plan to meet housing goals through community planning. A community-led plan can allow CB10 to develop housing where it feels the most appropriate and then therefore regain full ULURP review. Secondly, again, going to emphasize, it's way more than just housing. We can identify areas for public realm improvements, allow the city to invest into beautification, accessibility, many different facets of the community. And lastly, we want to leave you with a call to action to get involved once community engagement starts, because when you participate in the engagement process, it will help us form a plan that's actually guided by the community for the community. So really we want to leave you with that call to action. There'll be the proper posting and whatnot. You will all be informed, but please, come out and get involved in our process here. So that brings us to the end of my presentation, and I'd be happy to open up for questions and discussions. Do you typically pass around the microphone for questions?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We need to bring the microphone.
Thank you so much. Can you just clearly define for all of us, it was difficult to see on the map, can you clearly define the parameters as you refer to the triangle, please? Thank you.
Yeah, so when we refer to the triangle, we're really referring to the end of the R train up until
Basically 87th to 95th, between 4th and 5th predominantly. There are some sites along 86th where there's sort of city-owned properties that we could maybe revisit, like the old CB10 building, for instance. And there's other sites lower on 3rd Avenue that could potentially be there as well. But this also would be part of the planning process, is deciding the area that we're referring to as well.
Yes, exactly. I just want to emphasize that the exact parameters of what we're studying are not yet fully set in stone, and that would come out of the community engagement. We may shift, it's all in response to what the community wants.
I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for doing that. And so I'm sorry to be redundant. So the red area is really where you're considering that development because of the car lots and things like that that are developable. Developable, sorry.
So, in general, hi, good evening. My name is Omar. I'm the Director of Planning and Land Use at the City Council. When we approach these opportunities, we first do a lot of analysis, and the analysis would lead us to identify areas where there's commercial-only zoning, as Gabriella pointed out, or areas where there's a potential for development, in a concentrated way, 3 or 4 adjacent lots, a lot of parking, or, a lot that could support other kinds of uses would immediately stand out to us as planners as a place where we would want to create a little bit of a focus with you and have a deeper conversation as to what should go there. The ideal in many communities is mixed-use development, a significant amount of housing up top, active or community-serving uses at the ground floor. This could be retail, but it could also be childcare. It could be a clinic. It could be things that the community has long needed that have not been met.
I'm having trouble with my toes, so that's where I'm going to stand. One thing I know about Bay Ridge is you stated we had one of the least amount of new developments for affordable housing. I think the reason is because we are affordable. We have all different types. The rents are pretty reasonable here. When I see the new developments coming in, they're not affordable. They're market rate. There's a huge difference in that. And the one thing about that also is you can keep building and building and building. That's great. But we have solid issues here. If they did a study, we had the worst, our train is the worst. I used to work at the Daily News, and I get to cover this every year. For over 30 years, the R train is the worst line coming in and out the city. So our transit, it might look like a great transit hub, but try getting on that train 8, 7 in the morning going back and forth, and the length of time it takes to wait. The buses are overcrowded. We have Staten Islanders coming over this way. There's other issues that should be addressed before adding more people, but you're also building for a group of people that we don't know if they can afford the rents that are coming in. I haven't been impressed by those rates. They might say, well, we have a few affordable apartments, but that's not the case.
Yeah, thank you for that. So one thing So we want to be clear about something, which is the charter changes are going into effect regardless of whether we engage in a plan. So because the charter changes were passed in November, developers will be able to bypass the city council and be able to get an upzone, and we think they're going to target that red area because it requires a rezoning, and they don't need my vote anymore to do it. So this is not a question of are we deciding whether we can handle more housing. We know more housing is going to come because we have lost our power to vote for it. The question is how we respond to the charter changes. And if we engage in a plan, the idea is that when we have the city on board and we have the Speaker's office on board and we have the agencies on board, people are going to know we did the comprehensive work to make this a plan that we want, and for the City Planning Commission to not approve zoning increases on top of the plan that we all just engaged in. So that's the idea here. It's not us saying we want more housing. That it's going to come because of the charter changes. We're trying to be holistic about how we go about it.
Thank you for that presentation. My concern is that all the new housing does not include parking. Or if it includes parking, it includes very little parking. In addition to that, there seems to be a concerted effort on the part of the city to reduce the number of parking spots. I'm not opposed to bikes, but with the bikes, with the restaurants, with the package drop-offs, I mean, you name it, we are down, down, down. And there don't seem to be any laws with how much parking we need. And I think it's a pretty dismal situation.
Thank you. I know we have only a few more minutes, so I'm going to go this way, and then maybe we'll do a few more. No, go ahead, Julie.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what is going to happen with the people that currently own those properties where they want to develop if they don't want to sell?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
wouldn't-
it's just going to take it over?
No, certainly
I mean,
not.
What,
No.
So
The
what's
zoning would
proposal?
allow for, the zoning would change. Anything that exists will be compliant, obviously, because it's pre-existing zoning. But the idea is that then a developer might want to come in and look at a car dealership and say, I'll pay you and buy that lot because I want to turn it into housing. Whereas right now, they cannot. It's a very
Right, and
limited use.
let's hypothetically say that these car dealers don't want to sell. What is going to happen then? They're going to force it?
No.
Is the city going to force it? So let's hope they don't sell then.
All right.
Thank you so much for putting this together. It's the best that can be done, given the situation. I wonder if you could paint for me just a brief picture of what a session would be like and how you elicit the responses. Is it a charrette? Do we sit at tables? Is it groups, small groups? Help
There's
me to just a little
Yep.
bit see that.
Happy to give an overview. So this is just the very beginning, and just because the city council, with your involvement and the council members' leadership, puts together a plan, does not guarantee an upzoning, right? There are several phases and parts, as the chart illustrated. You know, the community visioning process can be very open-ended. It could be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, you know, as many meetings as folks want to have, as much time as you want to dedicate. You know, in some cases, private citizens raise their hand and say, I have an architect friend, I know they've got some time on their hands, they're going to come into the discussion and help us think through some of these issues. That's all part of community engagement. It's all fair game, and everyone's welcome to the conversation. So it is important, however, to come up with a plan that includes maybe an advisory panel or a steering committee, if you will. You guys could all decide that it happens all through the community board. That's an option too. But essentially, it could be, you know, a number of meetings looking at maps at a larger scale, identifying the sites, thinking through the amount of density that might be needed, right, to land here in order to get off the list. And, you know, that density could be well distributed. You could set up guidelines. There's even a discussion about design guidelines if you wanted to. And also all the other things that are needed, right? Transportation improvements, open space, school planning, et cetera, et cetera. So it's pretty open-ended.
So I guess I was first going to say, I'm not, I don't personally recall this community board recommending a neighborhood plan, but perhaps we did, and you guys stated that we did. So I just wanted to flag that because I feel like I'm not sure that this is exactly what everybody had in mind when we were discussing the city of Yes. This is the first thing. The second thing I would say is I'm a little concerned that we would, based on the way that the law is written and the charter was redone, it sounds to me as though we could all go for this neighborhood plan. Let's say it's all open space and it's beautiful and it's just parking, whatever it is. You know, it's just grass, it's green. It's something that people will not object to in this neighborhood, which is obviously never going to work. But parking, right? Yeah, but let's say we did that. There's no guarantee that an individual developer can't come back and request a rezoning at that point, right? And then the third thing I would just say, and then I'll just stop, is we have sewage infrastructure problems in this neighborhood, and this is a big issue. And the idea of even just that triangle having 500, 600, 700 units, I think would put a great tax on the infrastructure.
No, I'm good.
Okay, Daniel? Yeah, we're limited in time, so we have about 5 more minutes of questions, so we're probably going to take maybe 4 more. Daniel? And then we'll take a few from the back.
Mine is quick. It's first of all, thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it. What is like the, I guess, like drop dead deadline for us to get this plan done on our end? Like, when will the City Planning Commission be putting out its
The
ideas?
City Planning Commission is putting out its list whether we make a plan in 3 weeks or in 6 months. The process of identifying the districts that are in the bottom 12 in terms of housing production is underway. They are expected to publish the official list and the methodology by which they came up with that list in October, and then that goes into, it gets adopted by the end of the year, and officially the next 5-year tranche starts in 2027. So the No, over the next 5 years, the list is current. Bay Ridge will almost certainly be on the list for the next 5 years, from 2027 through 2032.
I guess my question, I'm sorry if I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Is basically like, when are they proposing zoning changes, whether we do or not?
They are not proactively proposing zoning changes. It is private applicants who will get a fast track to approval of their projects. Yeah. If we work together to come up with a community plan, we can then ask for comprehensive zoning changes that reflect the goals of the plan. Yeah.
Okay, so questions? I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I just have 2 quick points. I'm pretty loud.
No, but it's the live stream, so people at home can hear you.
One, when this comes to fruition, will everything like sewer system, because we have a large issue with sewer system here, be considered with, if you're taking a building that functions as a store and building on top of it and adding 10 residents per, that's a lot more sewer system usage than, that's one question. And the other is, how do you sign up to be a part of this?
That's a great question. So private application by private application, if they are less than 500 units, they will not always trigger an environmental review for sewer impact, right? And this just passed in the state legislature, right? So in order for a neighborhood plan to go through environmental review, it needs to be a comprehensive neighborhood plan, or looking at an entire district like we're proposing through the plan. This process we're describing and suggesting for this community does require environmental review and impact. Mm-hmm. And the second, through the community board, we're available. We will continue to organize through council members and as well as staff, and figure out what the next steps are.
I'm under the impression that sometime in the past years, we had a community board meeting where they were announcing redistricting and rezoning changes, and they called that the City of Yes. And I believe at that community board meeting, we objected to it strenuously. Now, I think that taking the exact same area of land and usage and piling more people into that area without expanding it is building a ghetto. We don't want that in our neighborhood. We want you to go away.
All right, we just have 2 more. Real quick, please.
So real quick, so in essence, this is being rammed down our throats, okay? Or they're attempting to. So, I'm sorry?
The plan or the charter changes?
No, the charter changes, not the plan.
The charter changes are done.
No.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
the point is, yes, right. So I'm talking about the charter changes,
Right.
not the plan, because I'm in favor of a plan if it's going to be rammed down our throat, correct?
The charter changes are not going anywhere.
Right.
They have been put into law and
So
we're on the
as-
list, so.
Kel. Yeah, so I'm trying to keep it quick. So as part of what's rammed down our throats, there is a quota, right? There's a certain amount that we have to provide according to this plan, not the plan, the charter revisions, in order to get off the dirty dozen list or whatever,
That's right.
So is there a cap at which we're like, okay, we've done what we had to do as a neighborhood, now leave us alone?
So there's no set number, but the only way we are getting off of the naughty list, the only way we get our ULURP vote back is if we build enough housing to get out of the list, right? So every year, correct.
plans on
Right.
our own, or is that political?
Go ahead. Yeah, I think just something to kind of like sum up what I'm hearing and maybe just like succinctly put, change is coming, the charter changes are inevitably happening, and CB10 will be affected. So it's a matter of allow that change without the council members' input to happen on its own and let these developers, come in and have their private rezonings, or we can respond to that and proactively plan to do that ourselves, essentially, right?
Yeah, well, no. Okay, so we allotted till 7:30, Mr. Chairman. This is not over. We're going to have lots more meetings, Community Board 10. Really quick, Carmelo, because it's 1 minute. Yeah.
To clear something up, we're supposedly on a list because we didn't contribute enough housing or enough affordable housing.
Affordable housing.
It has nothing, we could build housing till cows come home, and it means nothing unless they're affordable. Understood.
Okay. Okay.
Good?
We're good. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. We are going to open up the public session now. First, I'd like to invite up Lori Windsor from Congresswoman Nicole Matitaka's office. If Nancy Lulu could come up here, we're going to have you next.
Good evening, everyone. Just a really quick announcement. I wanted to let everyone know that the Congresswoman introduced legislation to cut capital gain taxes for seniors who are selling their homes. So currently, it's $250,000 for an individual, $500,000 for married, right? And that's been since 1997. This legislation would increase it to $1 million, whether it's single or married. And they have to be 65 and have owned the home for 25 years. So, I'm sorry, I'll repeat it again. No, it's not affordable. This is legislation that the Congresswoman introduced to cut the capital gain taxes for seniors who are looking to sell their houses. Currently, an individual can have right now $250,000 and married $500,000, and it's been deductions since 1997. This legislation would increase it to $1 million, whether it's single or married. You just have to be 65 and have owned the home for 25 years. So I'll keep you updated on that. Thank you.
Thank you. No. Okay, next up is Nancy Lulu from District Attorney Eric Gonzalez's office. If Maya Yedin could come up in front, please. You're next.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I bring greetings on behalf of DA Gonzalez. Just wanted to quickly remind you of our Action Center's phone number. If there's anything you would like to address with the DA's office, to call our Action Center at 718-250-2340, and also visit our website at brooklynda.org to check on recent releases, press releases, upcoming events. And I want to conclude with wishing everyone a happy and safe summer and happy upcoming Father's Day to all the fathers. Thank you.
Next up, I'd like to invite, okay, Maya, come on up. Maya from Senator Andrew Gennardis' office.
You really didn't want to give the mic over today. Okay, so fast, gonna beat Lori. No soliciting allowed signs are in the back. Everybody loves them, get your own. We are happy that we have summer reading, which is fun. Grab some for your kids and encourage them to read this summer. And we have, in conjunction with Kayla's office, we have our very popular summer concerts in Shore Road Park. And they start on the Tuesday right after 4th of July. That's it, have a great summer. Thanks.
Thank you, Maya. Now I'd like to invite up Assembly Member Lester Chang, please.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the board, and have a great summer. I know this is the last one before Labor Day. Shredding, free shredding, July 12th, I'll put in the back. And one thing about the charter, I was against it. We got rammed, but just let you know that I'm against this, however they did to ram this through our vote, especially the charter revision, and I'm against that all. Whatever I can to help you, I will be fighting for you guys. And that's all I have, and have a great summer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I'd like to invite Dominic Schlossberg from Councilmember Alexa Vilas' office.
Hey everyone, good evening. Just a couple things I'd like to shout out. So for anyone who came over here from the northeastern part of Community Board 10, Dyker Heights, every other Thursday we are in McKinley Public Library from 1 to 5 p.m. doing constituent services. The next date will be on June 25th. Also, for anyone who has electronics that they need to throw out, we are doing a community electronics recycling event that's going to be, let me make sure, on June 27th in Sunset Park from 10 to 2 p.m. I have the flyers on that table over there. The council member also wanted me to come and sort of quickly address the 3rd Avenue truck route redesign and extension. So the council member thinks that the 3rd Avenue should not be used at all for trucks. So the intent of Intro 708, which led to the route redesign, was actually to decrease truck traffic and increase pedestrian safety. There are 3 pillars to that bill, which DOT completely ignored in their redesign. That is increasing signage, increasing compliance with the existing redesign, and increasing pedestrian safety through redesigns. So our office is working with DOT so that they can actually faithfully execute the intent of the bill.
Next up, I'd like to invite Stanley Nig from Councilmember Susan Zhuang's office.
Good evening. I just want to make 3 quick announcements. Number 1, we're going to be having a Distinguished Men Award. So I'll put the flyers in the back. Anybody you want to nominate, please use the flyer and use the QR code to nominate somebody, number 1. Number 2, we're going to be, I haven't talked to you yet, we're going to be bringing back the sweeping of 61st and 62nd Street, for you 62nd Street, all by the subway for the summer, between 1 to twice a month, okay? Number 3, Crystal McAuliffe, it's in your district. We gave them 1.5 for fiscal year 25, and we gave them another $3 million for fiscal year 26, for a total of $4.5 million, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, I'd like to invite Jessica Callow from Brooklyn President Antonio Reynoso's office. And Colonel Cantwell, you're next.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jessica Callow. I'm from the Brooklyn Borough President's Office. I'm going to keep it super short. Graduation award nominations are now closed. So if you haven't gotten in contact with our office to nominate people from your schools or children from your schools to get an award, reach out and I'll make sure you get in contact with the right person. We have a youth advisory council, for those of you still dealing with the schools. We have a very strong youth advisory council that advises the borough president on things that involve the youth. So if you know anybody that's interested in that, our information about that is on the website. We have our 2026 ULURP public hearing schedule. Considering there's so many people in this room that are angry about ULURP related things, please come to our ULURP hearings. It's very underattended. So please come. They happen in downtown Brooklyn, which is not very close, but please do come out because it's another place where your voice can be heard. And we do take note of everybody who either emails in commentary or comes and speaks at those hearings. And then lastly, we do have a constituent service offices. So if you have any issue or one of the other wonderful elected officials that have their own action center. We also have an action center. So let us know if you have any issues. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful summer.
Okay, next up is Colonel Mitzi Cantwell from Fort Hamilton Army Garrison.
You're all too kind. I'm glad that I'm the last speaker because I have good news. We are able to open post for 4th of July. And yeah, very exciting. So we brought some flyers, but post will be open. We ask that you register in advance, but there won't be a real ID check or anything of the sort. You're all invited to come out and watch the ships sail into the harbor between 8 and 1 on the 4th of July. We'll have food trucks, games for the kids, a bunch of activities for the families, and really just a bunch of green space for you guys to bring your chairs, your tables, some coolers with water, no alcohol, please, and enjoy both the ships, the salute to ships, the music, and then the flyover to really kick off the celebration here in the city. So thank you in advance for your support and your patience, but we welcome all of you to come out.
Okay, this time I'd like to recognize a few people. Michael Sheldon from Councilmember Kayla Santos-Suazo's office. Eileen Sacco, 68 Precinct Community Council President. Nancy Roden, Councilmember David Carr's office. And Francis Vela Marone, former President, Dyker Civic Association. Okay. First up to speak tonight will be Michael for Valerie Parks. Eileen Sacco, you're next, so could you please come up?
All right, what up, people? Yeah, I gotta do better than that, man. What is it? Oh, it's bedtime. My bad. A little bit of round of applause for the place in which you're sitting in the AC that's keeping you from sweating. Yeah, man. Listen, I've never heard anybody say it's cold while it's 90-something degrees outside. I love it, though. But, guys, this is a NYC Recreation Center. It is founded by your tax dollars. And on the 10th of next month, we're going to be having an open drive where we have all of our programs out for you guys to try. So from 1 o'clock to 4 p.m., we got a bunch of programs. So I am the gentle, actually I should take gentle out of that name. I am the Hatha yoga instructor. It's not gentle whatsoever, but do come. We also have Tabata classes. We have dance fitness. We have movement to Latin music. What else we got in this thing? Chair fitness. We have a pickleball court in which you are sitting on right now. Don't look down. Eye contact. Okay. Trust my words. All right, we got Tai Chi as well. And we just have a bunch of good vibes and fun. You can ask the members that are here. It's nothing but love in this place. All right, the membership is super affordable. I'm not going to lie to you. We also got Emilio in the back. Everybody knows Emilio. Yeah, he's gonna be in parks forever. He loves this place. This is his thing. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Let's go Navy. Hoo-yah.
Okay, next up is Eileen Sacco. If Maureen Scott can come up, please, you're next.
Hi, good evening, everyone. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Eileen Sacco. I'm the president of the 68th Precinct Community Council. And with the end of the community year, I just want to, on behalf of the council, thank everybody for their continued support of the precinct and for all the hardworking men and women who keep us safe every day. So thank you for that. And I also want to bring a sad goodbye from Deputy Inspector DeSaro, who actually left us today. He is now the commanding officer of the 71st Precinct, and within the next few weeks, we will be working on and announcing the new commanding officer. We'll bring him around, and I'm very much hoping, Josephine worked and Dorothy worked very, very closely with Deputy Inspector DeSaro. I have to say, one of the best relationships, I've been around for 20 years, and this relationship seemed to work as one of the best, and we're hoping we can duplicate it. So good summer to everybody, and again, thank you for always supporting the precinct. I'm sorry, Sandy.
Thank you, Eileen. Marlone Scott? Not here? Signed up. Oh. Ms. Scott? Come on up. Is that Marlone?
Marion.
Marion. Oh.
No, I just had a question about what's the status of the Staples building? I heard that they're building affordable housing on top. And also, what's the status of, what was it again? What was the status of Century 21 space? Like it's demolished and nothing's happening.
Okay, as far as the Staples site, I can certainly send you information. The board has reviewed it. It provided an advisory recommendation. There was just, it's working its way through the ULURP process, and I'm sure, I can get you an update exactly where it's at. As far as the Century 21, there's only plans on file right now for the demolition, so we don't know. I mean, we just know what we're hearing, and that's going to be some type of two-story retail development, but we don't have anything concrete yet or any other notices. So that if you signed up, we will make sure we keep you on the Century list, and as soon as we hear things, we'll be in touch with you.
Oh, and also the building behind Century, they're supposed to be putting a supermarket. Is that still?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're hearing. We don't see any plan. I haven't seen any plans filed yet, but our understanding is that they're all going to be as of right proposals because we haven't received anything other than that. But the 87th Street where the home store is, that is expected to be a supermarket.
Okay, next up, I believe Janine Miller. Miller? Miller? Next up is Matthew Voskov from Catholic Charities.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew. I'm an outreach coordinator coming here from Catholic Charities Neighborhood Services. And I just wanted to make a quick reminder that there are services available for the homebound seniors 60 years of age and older. And the services are funded by the Department of the Aging. And those services include case management, home delivered meals, home care, housekeeping, and many other services. The eligibility requirements, you have to be 60 years of age and older, and you need to have partial or fully homebound disability. And if you wish to speak more about the services, I would be at the back of the room. And if you would like to make a referral, the phone number is 718-680-3530. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Michelle Giancola. Next, I'd like to invite Diane Goodman. Marianne Teague is next. Come up, please.
Okay, I wanted to speak about the community center, but first, when they spoke about Century, in the paper they said they were putting a super fresh. Where did they get that information from?
So that report on Superfresh, that's the 87th Street location, not the 86th Street.
So you have no idea what's going in there? What kind of supermarket is it?
No, I mean, we've heard it was Superfresh, but we haven't received anything specific yet, is what I'm saying.
All right, and what's happening with the church? I always thought that that was a landmark, but according to the computer, they said it wasn't.
Okay, so no, 9818 is not landmarked. There's a ULURP application. There's an informational report tonight where we could give you, if you've signed up, we'd be happy to give you information. There'll be further meetings in September.
Are they going to knock down the house next to it to build that mosque?
No.
From the picture, it looks humongous.
There's the current footprint of what the existing St. John site is. The rectory,
There's the
right,
church, then there's
yes,
the house. I don't know if that's
the
the
rectory
rectory.
site is included in the ULURP proposal, yes.
Will there be parking, or you don't know?
Well, in the current proposal, no, but we'll be talking about the proposal later.
All right, because if they're going to build it, we were fighting to try and get a light at the corner here, and they put that crosswalk. The cars don't stop. And now what's going to happen if they build that? A lot of people are going to be walking by and driving by. Someone is going to get killed. I mean, they really need a light, number one. But I know this is not for today. But that should be something you should also consider. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mary Antigua. Mary Antigua, you're next. Next up is Alan Faust. Please come up to the front.
Good evening. Okay. With Fort Hamilton Parkway, the center, there's so many questions, and it's really not clear. And I know I was on the first zoning meeting on YouTube. I don't know if the board or you received any answers from them on some of the questions about the surveys and everything. But right now, with the construction of the bridge, it has in some ways limited traffic from this. I'm on that block every single day. I live on 100th Street, but I'm on 99th at least 2 and 3 times a day. My mom lives on that block. It's out of control. The safety concerns, I almost got hit numerous times. Fights in front of my mother's house between the people that worked there and Asian women that were attending, screaming, almost coming to blows. I mean, there's so many concerns, safety and security-wise, of God bless them. They took the initiative to have some young gentlemen wearing safety vests and directing people. They don't know what they're doing. They're directing people into cars that are coming up the block. They're letting them cross in the middle of the street. They sit on everybody's property. They go through their bags, the first 5 houses, 6 houses up the block. They go through their bags. What they don't want, they'll throw it into any pail or leave it on the street. I have my 90-year-old mother digging out garbage because they put it in her paper for the food. There's so many issues. Parking on a Friday. And I think right now they've subsided some of their, because they used to have it daily, because I'm out at 6 o'clock every morning and I would see them coming and going. They'd be parking on every single fire hydrant. Oh, my time's up. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Alan Faust, please.
Thank you. I've got about 5 or 6 hours worth of notes here. I'll try to condense them. I'm talking about the Church of the Generals. And I have 2 major oppositions to it. One is the zoning change. From R4B to R6A doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I mean, R4B allows for what is there now. Nice row houses, okay? R6A, all that really changes, it's going to let them make something bigger. It doesn't say that it has to be aesthetic, but actually it does, because it has to be designed to be compatible with existing buildings found in older neighborhoods. This is certainly an older neighborhood. Goes way back to the village of Fort Hamilton in the 1830s and before. My second argument, which is dear to my heart because I'm a student of history, and this is history. Not only is this church the Church of the Generals, and I can give you a whole list of generals who were there. They weren't generals at the time. They became generals. One was offered command of the Union Army and turned it down. That was Robert E. Lee. Another was Stonewall Jackson, who was baptized there. Okay, they're both Confederate generals. That's another argument. But Matthew Ridgway, NATO commander, he was baptized there. Beadle Smith, who was Eisenhower's chief of staff during World War II. Those are just a few. Now, what I really find difficult to understand is, in 1834, the Dempsey family donated that land to the Episcopal Church for the purpose of one thing: to build a Protestant Episcopal Church. Now, I don't care. I'm not religious, so that doesn't matter to me. But the fact is that that's stipulated in a deed that said it had to be a church forever, an Episcopal church forever. Now, unfortunately, that deed has been lost. Charlotte Bangs, a historian, wrote a book back in 1912 called The Reminiscences of Old New Utrecht and Gowanus. And in that book, she has the verbatim of that deed. And I have a copy of it here.
Okay, we
Which
could take
states-
those comments
Excuse me?
back with us.
My time's
Thank
up
you.
already?
Yes.
Well, okay. Sorry, folks. Thank you.
Thank you. Very interesting, but I'm sorry, we have to move the meeting along. Okay, first up, I'd like to invite for our public hearings, Chris Ellison from the Police and Public Safety Committee.
Good evening. I'm going to be quick as possible. The Police and Public Safety Committee meeting was held on June 11, 2026. The meeting was a hybrid meeting in person at Community Board 10 District Office and on Zoom. We met in quorum, but not in person quorum, and the agenda was as follows. And you all have the agenda, so I'm just going to go right into it. First one, review of class change application to liquor, wine, beer, cider license at Cafe by the Pier, 35 Bay Ridge Avenue. The applicant, Anthony Azzarelli, was not present, but was represented by his attorney, Ann Young, who was on Zoom. The applicant does have a wine, beer, and cider license and will be before the board in March 2025. This is a class change to liquor, wine, beer, and cider. There has been no adverse history in the past 3 years at this location. The hours of operation are Monday through Wednesday, 6 a.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday and Friday, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m., Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. The applicant does have experience in operating restaurants: Cafe Romeo, 7111 20th Avenue, Brooklyn; Cafe Gondola, located in Massapequa, Long Island. The establishment will have background music and may have occasional karaoke and host parties, such as birthdays, anniversaries, and kids' parties. They are also looking into start a chess league. They did provide a floor plan and menu. There will be a maximum of 60 people, 16 tables with 50 seats, and 1 stand-up bar with 7 seats. There will be no outdoor use. Motion was made to deny the applicant unless they agree to the following stipulation. Now, they are going to be going through like 6 of these, so I'm going to read the stipulation, the standard stipulation once, all right? And if there's going to be any additions to the stipulations as I go along, I'll mention them, all right? The premise will be operated as a cafe or restaurant. There'll be no sale or consumption of alcohol on the premises until the appropriate license issued by the State Liquor Authority. Applicants will not let serve or allow bring your own booze until their license is obtained. The owner or manager will be on site during all hours of operation. There will be no smoking permitted. There will be no outdoor use. There will be no outdoor music. The doors and windows remain closed with any amplified music. Background recorded indoor music sound levels remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. There will be at least 20% visibility view into the establishment at eye level. Once the State Liquor Authority license is obtained, the community board may call upon the applicant to address any concerns that may arise. The applicant agrees that should it change its method of operation, it will give notice and meet with the community board committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. With this stipulation, the hours of operation are Monday through Wednesday, 6 a.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday and Friday, 6 a.m. to 2 a.m., Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., and on Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. There will be no outdoor use. So what I need is a second on the floor. Julie, seconds? Any discussion? So I'll call. No questions? All those in favor, please signify. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any recusals? Next item, review, excuse me, review of new wine beer site application to Dyka Pizza Company Incorporated, doing business as a Pizza, 9524 4th Avenue, aka 373 96th Street. The applicant, Andrew Pisanto, and Robert Cicero were present in District 10 office. The applicants currently operate a Pizza located 8424 13th Avenue and John's Deli on 13th Avenue. The location was previously Molto Bene Pizzeria. The hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. There will be 7 tables with 18 seats. There will be no outdoor use. Motion was made to deny the applicants unless they agree to the following stipulation. And I gave out the standard stipulation. The only difference is there will be no outdoor music and no outdoor use. And the hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. After a discussion period, the motion was passed unanimously. I need a second. Ann? Any questions? I'll call the question. All those in favor, please signify. Any opposed? Any recusals? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Next item, review of new wine beer cider at Common, 3rd Avenue, Incorporated, doing business as The Common, 9406 3rd Avenue. The applicant, Alex Orman, was not present, but was represented by Ellen from Sam Park's office, ABC Licensing, on Zoom. The location has been operating as The Common since 2018. There is no adverse history. The hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. There is no outdoor use. The establishment has 8 tables with 22 seats, 1 stand-up bar, and no seats. There are only recorded background music and no outdoor use. Motion was made to deny the applicant unless they agree to the following stipulation. And the only changes to the standard stipulation were the hours of Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and there will be no outdoor use. I'm sorry. After discussion period, the motion passed unanimously. Need a second. Julie? Any discussion? Barring no discussion, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any recusals? Motion passes. Next item, review of a class change application to liquor, wine, beer, cider license at Fat Boy Noodle Bar, Incorporated, 308 86th Street, doing business as Cafe Negroni. The applicant, Arthur Hassani, was present in the district office. This is a class change from wine, beer, and cider to liquor, wine, beer, and cider. The cafe has been operating since May 2025. There is no adverse history at this location. The applicant will have background recorded music. The hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Outdoor use of the rear yard will be 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The applicant has experience in operating restaurants, and he currently owns the Water Street Cafe at 71 J Street. The applicant did provide a menu, a layout of the premises. There are 26 tables with 65 seats. Outside has 6 tables with 10 seats. Motion was made to deny the applicant unless the applicant agreed to the following stipulation, our standard stipulation. The only thing were the hours of operation on Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Outdoor use will be 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. After discussion period, the motion was passed unanimously in favor. Need a second? Danielle? Any discussion? Cafe Negroni. Negroni. He's on 86th Street off of 3rd Avenue. Any questions? No questions. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item, review of a new wine beer cider application for Vanuros Restaurant Corporation, 7609 5th Avenue, doing business as New Royal Diner. The applicant, Konstantinos Matsangos, and his representative, Costa Halkias, were present in the district office. This is the new owner of Mike's Royal Diner, to be known as New Royal Diner. The location has been operating as a restaurant for several decades. There is no adverse history at the location. The hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mr. Matsangos was the owner of Emphasis restaurant located at Bay Ridge Avenue and 4th Avenue for over 20 years. The restaurant has 17 tables with 60 seats, 1 bar with 2 seats. There will be recorded background music. Motion was made to deny the applicant unless the applicant agreed to the following stipulation. It was a standard stipulation. Only change was the hours of operation Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sunday 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., and there will be no outdoor use. After a discussion period, the motion passed in favor with 1 abstention. Need a second from the floor? Ann? Sorry. Any discussion? Any questions? Call the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item, review of new liquor, wine, beer, cider application for Columbia Paseros Restaurant Corporation, 6824 3rd Avenue. The applicant, Wilson Batista, and his representative, Sandra Fong, were on Zoom. This is the new owner of the restaurant. The location has been operating as a restaurant since 2024. They will continue to use the rear yard. There has been no adverse history. The hours of operation will be Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Outside yard hours will be Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. There are 9 tables with 28 seats and 1 stand-up bar with 11 seats. Rear yard has 10 tables with 30 seats. There will be live music and karaoke on some Friday and Saturdays. The applicant provided a menu and a floor plan and a security plan. The premises are under some renovations and will incorporate soundproofing. There will be no outdoor music. Motion was made to deny the applicant unless the applicant agreed to the following stipulation. It was a standard stipulation. The hours of operation will be Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Outside yard hours will be Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday will be 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. There will be no smoking permitted. Oh, that's me reading again. After a discussion period, the motion passed unanimously in favor. Need a second? Jonathan? Any discussion? Any questions? Call the question. All those in favor, please signify. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, first I'd like to welcome some board members that we didn't meet at our last meeting. Lance Ford. Lance, you here? Stand up. There you go. Welcome. Itav Greenberg. There you go. And Jenna Taub. Okay, this is our last meeting before we break for the summer. I want to thank all the board members for the year that we had. I know it gets tough, and there's a big commitment of time, and but we all make it, and this is why Bay Ridge, Decker Heights, and Fort Hamilton are the areas that they are. I also want to thank all my officers. Thank you. And also, I'd like to thank our district manager, Josephine Beckman, and our community coordinator, Dorothy Garuccio. Dorothy usually gets her steps in on these meetings. Thank you again. Have a great summer, and back in September, recharged and ready to go. Thank you. Now we're going to have our district manager's report, Ms. Josephine Beckman.
Thank you, Sandy. Good evening, board members. I want to start my report tonight by calling out a board member, our youth member, Stephen Link, who will be participating this summer in DYCD's Ladders for Leaders program right here in CB10. And we have an ambitious few weeks, and something that Stephen actually really wants to do is a park cleanup, and we've already scheduled it for Tuesday, July 14th. So this is where, on behalf of Stephen, I put the arm on everyone. If you're around that day and want to help out some students who are given some time in the community, you'll get some information, and you're all more than welcome to join us. Thank you, Stephen. We look forward to the summer. Thank you. So it was also an honor this past week to attend the film screening of A Love Letter to Bay Ridge that was made possible by a grant to Middle School 407 that's on 86th Street. So a teacher named Antonia Pizzelli, she applied for the grant and was awarded, and her students went around Bay Ridge and interviewed lots of folks about some of the history and what Bay Ridge means to them. They interviewed residents, business leaders, both past and present. And I just want to shout out tonight, I was proud to attend. Dorothy and I were interviewed unexpectedly, and we participated in the interview. Henry Stewart, Liz Lovejoy, and Issa Masood, all from CB10, were also featured in the film. And we've asked the school if we could have it on YouTube so we could show it maybe before a CB10 meeting. It's a quick 15-minute short movie, but the kids did an awesome job, and it was really nice and special. So I just wanted to share that with you. Eileen Sacco was here. We were notified that Deputy Inspector John DeSaro was transferred to the 7-1 precinct. We did enjoy a good working relationship and look forward to meeting his successor. I just want to give a reminder that planned overnight change on the R train tonight, June 15th through the 17th, from 11:45 to 5 a.m. due to track replacement in Brooklyn. So the Manhattan-bound R will skip 25th Street, Prospect Avenue, and Union Street. Our website has lots of information, and we were asked by the MTA to send a reminder. The Colonel mentioned before about the event at the 4th of July for the U.S. Army Garrison. It's also on our website, and there are flyers here tonight. I'd remind you if you're interested in registering to take some. The district office continues to receive many questions about ongoing construction work throughout the district. So National Grid is doing a lot of work in the southern portion of CB10 in the 90s around 3rd Avenue and all the way up, I guess, to 3rd and 4th and down to Ridge and Shore. The New York State DOT continues their project at 81st Street over the Fort Hamilton Parkway overpass. You may have noticed they switched the moving lane this past weekend, and motorists have adjusted well to the new change. So work will continue there, and we'll provide updates. The Bay Ridge Library branch is temporarily closed with work starting today through June 29th. We got lots of questions about that today. So please continue to check our e-newsletter for updates and our website. We really try to work on those to provide up-to-date information. And it was really nice to see such wonderful Knicks pride and peaceful celebrations this past weekend. There was an impromptu ticker tape parade on 3rd Avenue after the win. I missed it by a little bit, although I was out, and I'm still wearing my Knicks color, sorry. And we will get information from the city about the parade on Thursday that we will also forward. So I just want to say on behalf of the district office team, thank you. Thank you all for all you do, and have a happy summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Josephine. Now I'd like to invite Shirley Chin to give her treasurer's report.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So Community Board 10 Treasurer's Report as of May 31st, 2026. Total personnel services, we have $260,517.16. Total other than personal services, we have $11,730.74, leaving an unencumbered budget balance of $25,512.10. Happy summer. See you in September.
Thank you, Shirley. Okay, now we're going to have the elections for one office, which is secretary. I will start off by reading the bylaws regarding the elections. In case of a contested election, the district manager shall prepare a paper ballot for each member and a ballot box. Each ballot shall include the name of the member in ink, a space to write the candidate's name for each contested election, and a place for the member's signature. The district manager shall give each member his or her ballot at the time of the election and monitor the ballot box. Members must be present to vote. Proxy votes are not permitted. Members must write their votes and sign the ballot in ink. All ballots must be deposited in the ballot box before any votes are counted. Any vote casted for an individual that has not been nominated formally shall be invalid and counted as an abstention. After all ballots have been deposited and the ballot box, the district manager and the chair of the nominating committee shall count the ballots, making the results public immediately. Okay? So those are the bylaws regarding the elections.
I'm going to read the names. Okay. So, Dorothy, how do you want to do this? So here's the ballot box. We could put the ballot box right there. And so each ballot has the board member's name. So I'm going to call your name slowly because you're going to raise your hand, and Dorothy will give you a ballot that you will complete. So the first name is Andre Engel. Andre, right there. Jonathan Bova. Tracy Britton. John Bruno. Jane Marie Kapitanakis. Donna Marie Carrera. Chris Cesarani. Shirley Chin. I'm sorry, you're up to Shirley. I'm sorry. Judith Collins. Doris Cruz. Richard Day. Carmelo Di Bartolo. Staley Dietrich. Elizabeth Edmonds. Chris Ellison. Ann Falutico. Carmen Feliciano. Lance Ford. Senya Frangipani. Barbara Germack. Ty Greenberg. I think it was in there. Dino Hatsis. Habib Judah. Stella Kokolas. Stella? Oh, okay. Pierre Lehu. Stephen Link. Daniel Loud. Elizabeth Lovejoy. Stephanie Simone Mahaney. Ruth Mazer. Frank Malaya. Marie Merville, Shishada. Marie was here. I don't know. She left. Danielle Mowry. Zui Nai. He was here. He left. Romeo Petrick. Larry Stelter. Janet Tope. Julie Thumb. Julie Thumb? Yeah. Sandy Vallis. And Barbara Vellucci. That's a V name for you. Oh, Frank got two. Oh, Marie, that she's out. Okay. That was stuck. It got stuck. Okay, so that is it. Wait. Ibrahim just walked in. We have to wait because then the two candidates will speak. We'll address the board, and then we'll vote, collect the votes, and then we'll release the winner. Sandy, I'll turn it to you.
Thank you, Josephine. At this time, I'd like to invite Chris Ellison.
I got to talk again. All right, so I'm requesting to be considered for the position of Secretary for Community Board 10. I have been a lifelong resident in Bay Ridge and Dyker Heights and am a stakeholder in the community. My experience started as a volunteer in Bay Ridge Ambulance Volunteer Organization known as Bravo, where I served as an emergency medical technician, crew chief, and equipment officer. I've had a vast amount of New York City experience where I've held several civil service titles. I have had a deep understanding of how the New York City government operates. I was an EMT, paramedic, and a lieutenant in the New York City Emergency Medical Service. I left EMS and joined the New York City Transit Police Department, where I patrolled New York City subways. In the Transit Police Department, I was promoted to the rank of sergeant. In 1995, the Transit Police merged with the New York City Police Department, and shortly thereafter, I was promoted to the rank of lieutenant. As a lieutenant, I served as a platoon commander in the 8-8 precinct, and later was transferred to the Emergency Service Unit, where I served as a patrol supervisor for Manhattan Bronx, and then as the Special Projects Operations Coordinator. In 2008, I was appointed by Mayor Bloomberg as the New York City Marshal, where I served in that capacity until 2013. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and a master's degree in management. I have served the Community Board 10 since 2020 and am currently the chairperson of the Police and Public Safety Committee. I have also served as chairperson of the Nomination Committee. I was president and the first vice president for Holy Cross Greek Orthodox Church. I also served on the DGK School Board as an assistant treasurer and Holy Cross Brooklyn Outreach Center, where we fed and clothed homeless, or undomiciled, I should say. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Chris. Now I'd like to invite up Staley Dietrich.
Oh, thank you for considering me for the position of secretary. My apologies for prolonging the meeting a little bit with this election, but we don't do this very often. We don't have board officer elections too frequently, and I think overall it's a good thing, even though it adds a little bit of time. It's good for us to have a little deliberation. It's good for us to vote on things. It's what we do here, so I think it's a good thing. I just want to say that this is really has nothing to do with Chris. I think Chris is doing a fine job as secretary. I think he does a great job running the Police and Public Safety Committee. You vote for me, I think you'll get a good secretary. You vote for Chris, I think you'll also get a good secretary. And I just found out that we're actually both paramedics as well, which I didn't know until you were up here a minute ago, which is cool. So why am I running? I'm running because this is a 50-person board, right? There are 50 people on this community board. So I don't think there's really any reason to appoint the same person to 2 different positions on the executive committee. Chris is already a member of the executive committee because he's the chairperson of committee. And there's no reason to double up on those leadership positions. When we double up on leadership positions on the executive committee, we close the door for other people who may want to, deepen their involvement with the community board. We just welcomed several new members tonight and at our previous meeting, and I wonder what kind of message that sends to them when we're doubling up on positions like that. Again, nothing against Chris personally. I think he does a fine job in both positions. But, I'm sorry? But I hope that you will vote for me, simply to provide a different perspective on the executive committee, a little diversity of opinion on that committee, which I think is a good thing. So I really appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Staley.
Okay, so if anyone needs a pen, you can raise your hand. If not, you could, we'll come forward and you can place your ballots in the ballot box. And then Ruth and I will go to the back. We will count the ballots and announce a winner. And I will ask if they could raise the temperature in here. Thank you.
I know it's on the 14th.
Not 100% sure all of the details yet, but we're still putting that together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, everyone.
Quiet, quiet, please, quiet. Quiet. Shh. Are all the ballots in the box? Everybody's placed their ballots?
Okay. So Ruth and I will go to the back and give us 2 minutes and we will. Okay, Ruth?
If anybody needs a break, now's the time to take it. Well, Josephine and Ruth. Just don't go too far, please. Hey, please quiet down.
Okay,
Come in the
everyone.
room.
Ruth
Everybody
Mays-
outside, come in the room, please.
Okay, we're coming back in session. Thank you. So there were 28 votes cast for Chris Ellison and 10 votes cast for Staley Dietrich. So Chris Ellison is our secretary. Thank you. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Josephine, and thank you, Ruth. At this time, the results of the election and the slate will be as follows. Chair, Sandy Vallis. Vice Chair, Stephanie Simone Mahaney. Secretary, Chris Ellison. And Treasurer, Shirley Chin. I will ask the Secretary to cast one vote.
The Secretary cast one vote for the slate.
And the slate is adopted. Thank you. Okay, Jane Marie Kaptelakis, Traffic and Transportation Committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On Tuesday, June 2nd, the Traffic and Transportation Committee met in virtual quorum to discuss the following agenda items focused on 4 primary infrastructure and safety initiatives in Bay Ridge. The first presentation we heard was from Xaverian High School. This is the informational update. A representative from Xaverian presented a traffic mitigation plan designed to improve safety and traffic flow while handling students' arrivals and dismissals. Generally, students arrive between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. Dismissal is staggered for middle school at 2:15 to 2:20, and the high school dismisses at 2:30. However, given that there are also numerous after-school activities, the full student population is not all coming out at once. Their key strategy is that the school has a site safety manager at the center of the construction area, and they have established a school safety committee, along with crossing guards stationed at surrounding streets during arrival and dismissal times. The safety team members are also assisting for safe movement of pedestrians and mitigating car traffic when possible. School buses and private busing pick up on Shore Road on the non-residential side, and they have some buses on Narrows Avenues. They have mitigated concerns about staff parking by utilizing ProPark, and they have a 1-year engagement with them for Xaverian employees with a shuttle to and from the Brooklyn Army Terminal in the morning and afternoon, and they hope that this will relieve parking pressures. As mentioned, they have staggered dismissals, so there is a 10-minute window to have the middle schoolers and cars moving. This plan had been in place for about 3 weeks at the time of our meeting. Although CB10 and Xaverian had requested that the MTA do a study for bus rerouting, MTA responded that they will not be doing any study until after the bus redesign. Once again, on the operational changes, Xaverian staff are actively managing the pickup zone, and the school buses have shifted. They've shifted the bus staging to reduce blockages on Shore Road and surrounding streets. They are committed to continuing these practices beyond the current construction period to maintain good neighbor relations. The next item we heard about was the update and presentation on Dahlgreen Place and 92nd Street improvements. The MTA Bridges and Tunnels and the New York City Department of Transportation presented a plan to address severe congestion and safety concerns near the Verrazano Narrows Bridge ramps. The problems, of course, are that there is a high accident rate, and traffic weaving were identified as major safety hazards for both commuters and pedestrians. The proposed solutions include the following: removing and replacing striping on Dahlgreen Place approach to 92nd Street, adding a single lane for through and left turning traffic to reduce congestion, installation of a quick curb divider and restriping to normalize lanes and prevent unsafe weaving. Add crossover prevention to restrict I-278 lower level right turn onto 92nd Street. Install no standing 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Monday to Friday for 6 vehicle parking spaces on Dahlgreen Place. Install no standing anytime for 6 vehicle parking spaces on northbound 92nd Street north of the intersection. The downstream adjustments included a widening or lane squeeze point near Fort Hamilton Parkway to allow buses to pull over fully, which helps through traffic flow. We had a lot of residents attend this meeting, and residents expressed very strong concerns about pedestrian safety and the need for stricter traffic enforcement, including potential red light cameras and NYPD crossing guard support. Discussion also included the implementation of a barn stance, which is all red, pedestrian phase to allow safe crossing without conflicting vehicle turns. So the barn stance is an intersection traffic signal that temporarily stops all vehicular traffic to allow pedestrians to cross in every direction at once, including diagonally. A request to lengthen crossing time at the east crosswalk and place countdown signals at all pedestrian crossings was also discussed. A motion was made to send a letter with our feedback to the MTA, DOT, and elected officials. Once again, the committee met in virtual quorum and voted in favor of sending a letter outlining our concerns as shared by committee members and residents, including having an NYPD traffic officer during this transition, school crossing guards, countdown signals, improved pedestrian crossing, a potential for speed cameras and sound cameras, additional traffic calming measures, revisiting timed interval traffic lights, and raised crosswalks to improve safety during the implementation of this project. We will need a motion from the floor for sending this feedback letter. I see Jonathan, I see Ruth. Okay, thank you. Now that is seconded, do we have any discussion on this? Okay, Dorothy, I see we have.
Thank you. So I appreciate all the feedback that we're sending to DOT. I, for one, and I think other people on the committee felt that the plan was really good for traffic flow, but maybe a little light on the pedestrian safety side of things. So I was hoping I could add an amendment just to include some specific pedestrian safety recommendations to our letter. I think this could be done as a friendly amendment. I'll go ahead and read it. I wrote it out so it's easy to add. And I think these are things we sort of discussed anyway. It's just a little more specific. We asked that DOT and MTA consider the following specific pedestrian safety interventions. 1, lengthen east crosswalk pedestrian walk signal. The eastern crosswalk pedestrian walk signal. The walk signal is currently only 7 seconds, followed by a 15-second flashing don't walk signal. This is not enough time to cross the intersection safely, especially for children and older adults. That's only 22 seconds to cross, which is very fast.
Right, and I do believe that we did list about the countdown signals and revisiting the timed interval traffic lights as well. So we did try to get in everything that was mentioned at our meeting. So I'm sorry if you felt that there was something more specific that was needed.
Right.
Okay.
And then the second point is to add red light camera enforcement. You mentioned the speed cameras. I think we need to include red light cameras. Red light cameras reduce pedestrian injury rates by 65%, according to the NYC DOT's own data. Those are very effective. Add left turn calming measures like center line hardening and turn wedges. And then lastly, add signage indicating that there's reduced speed ahead on ramps approaching Dahlgren Place. Oddly enough, there is no signage indicating that you need to slow down as you come toward that intersection. So I appreciate adding those things to the letter, if you don't mind.
So if we can just add those 4 points, or so that one of them I feel. Right.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we have those items to be added. Do we need a second from the floor to add that? Okay, thank you. All right, is there any other discussion to be had on this point? Thank you. I see 2 more hands.
I just want to say we were very fortunate in the representative they have, because he came, this was the second time I heard him speak, and you could just tell how long and hard he put into the effort of explaining what was going to be done, how it was going to be done, and it was just a joy to work with him and to listen to him, because he paid so much attention, and we're talking about like a short span of space, and it must have taken him days or weeks just to get his presentation down, and I felt really secure that it would work what they wanted to implement.
Thank you, and it's good to note that the residents were very grateful as well, and they noted that at our meeting.
Are these recommendations only for Dahlgren Place or Fort Hamilton Parkway as well?
This was for the 92nd Street and Dahlgren is how they've labeled this project. And I think that the specific measure about Fort Hamilton Parkway had to do with the buses. That was the part that got mentioned about Fort Hamilton, the widening
restriping.
a lane squeeze point near Fort Hamilton Parkway was something that they specifically showed in their presentation. So that was the piece that stood out to me about Fort Hamilton Parkway.
They just didn't include any like pedestrian safety improvements in that intersection, and there really is no like LPI or any really, pedestrian safety measures whatsoever there. Like, cars and pedestrians are always coming into conflict with each other.
So when we're saying about looking at the improved pedestrian crossing, you wanted that it includes all intersections within the scope of this project.
Exactly.
How would that be? Because I think that's our intention, but if the language needs to be specified, I think that can tie it together. Okay?
Thank you.
Great. Did we have anybody else? I think there's a person behind. Member of the public?
Hello.
Okay. Hi.
How are you? Okay.
We generally have committee members first. I appreciate you're here from the public and you wanted to share something on this.
Yeah, just a quick mention. On Fort Hamilton and 92nd, you have the arrow. It comes on,
Yes.
the arrow that lets you go for,
The turn.
for the turn. Could you get that on 92nd and Dahlgren?
They had said that they were going to be revisiting things once they started putting these pieces into place. But we, again, as was previously mentioned by our board members, to look at each of the intersections with a particular concern for both not just vehicular but pedestrian safety as well, seems to really encompass the intention of the safety improvements. Thank you. Okay. All right. I think we are ready for the vote. Oh, I see we have another hand. One moment. She's coming with the...
Hi, I live in that area, and I come off the bridge, and I know the left-hand turn. So when you're coming off, there's a Jersey barrier on the right side, and then there's the immediate left turn. But then there's when you're coming up, and when you have to make the right turn, like you have to yield to the other 2 lanes. So how do you make the right turn when you're coming off the bridge, number 1? Number 2 is when polyprep is in session, and there's other vehicular traffic in the morning, I have could not get through that intersection driving. I believe in pedestrian safety,
but diagonal crossing is just never a good idea on a given day anywhere, because it's too long. That's too long. But it's so difficult to just get through that intersection that you actually have to go all the way down to 86th Street to make the left to get all the way down towards 100th Street.
Yeah, I once again, I think they're really looking closely at all of these surrounding areas. The focus of their presentation was specifically at Dahlgren and 92nd, but as we've said, it then leads into congestion and leads into other safety issues in all of those surrounding blocks. So we do appreciate that. We will, again, share our feedback with the MTA and DOT and our electeds. And we have another.
Hi, this may be late to the discussion, and I'm looking at a map on my phone here. Was there any consideration on adding a fourth lane coming off the bridge and getting onto the highway?
The way
The far left.
The way I understand it, they're trying to streamline that. If you come out of the, Josephine, you have it there on the paper from the presentation. If they came out from the right, that you'd only be able to make the right turn, and that you wouldn't be able to, if you're coming out from the lower deck, they don't want you weaving over to then make the left turn. That's one of the things that they have in mind. They're trying to put those, as I said, those curb, I'm just looking for the curb. Yes. They're trying to put those in, the quick curb dividers, I'm sorry, so that you can kind of stay in your lane and try and make that happen. But we also spoke, and the residents were very clear about the need for enforcement and the need for having, especially as new things are happening and new traffic patterns are happening, we really need enforcement to help make sure that everybody follows the rules and stays in their lane. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so then I believe now we are ready for our vote so that we can send this letter of our feedback along to MTA and DOT. All right, so do we have then to get a motion for that, Josephine, with the, we're fine. We're fine with that. All right, so we're ready to vote. So all in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions or recusals? Thank you. The motion carries to send our letter. Next was an informational report regarding the Owl's Head Viaduct rehabilitation. New York State DOT provided an update on the upcoming bridge rehabilitation project spanning over 61st Street. This bridge goes over the parking deck of the Bay Ridge Towers, John Allen Payne Playground, and Tom Joyce soccer fields. There is deteriorated and corroded steel, and the last major work was done about 40 years ago. All of this causes a safety concern for the traveling public and structural deficiency. The timeline they are looking at is that construction is expected to start in winter 2027 and completed by fall 2030. The letting process is anticipated to begin in fall 2026. For traffic management, the project will be staged to maintain at least one lane of traffic in each direction during construction. Detours for ramps will be overnight only and not concurrent. Message signs, traffic enforcement agents, and pedestrian managers will be provided along the detour route. Bus stops to be relocated and bus routes to be modified will be done in coordination with the MTA. For community coordination, the state DOT is coordinating with local Bay Ridge Towers management regarding the issues occurring with their parking deck, and has been in contact with them to ensure communication. They are monitoring and in coordination with the Bay Ridge Towers. They are also committed to installing bird-proofing measures to improve cleanliness beneath the structure. There will also be enhancements made to the John Allen Payne Playground as part of this project. Once again, this was just an informational update. Our last informational update was on the CB10 Outdoor Dining Survey. District Manager Beckman shared that they received about 550 responses so far from residents to our recent survey on outdoor dining. People indicated they enjoyed the sidewalk cafe over roadway cafes. 76% of residents who responded opposed year-round roadway dining. Looking at our restaurants, we had a much lighter return of about 13 businesses. Preliminary feedback indicates that many local restaurants prefer relying on existing indoor capacity. While nearly 70% of the responders did participate in the temporary roadway and sidewalk cafe program during COVID, only 30% currently have continued to have a sidewalk cafe, and only one respondent has both a sidewalk and roadway cafe. The ability to have enclosures or heated enclosures would make more restaurants interested in having year-round sidewalk cafes, but this is not currently available with the city. Once we have all of our data gathered, and we are hoping for more feedback, we will share our findings with the City Council to ensure that the community's voice is represented in future legislation. Thank you so much. Respectfully submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane Marie. Now I'd like to invite Stephanie Simone Mahaney for the Zoning and Land Use Committee report.
Thank you. I know it's towards the end of the evening. I'll speak quickly, but before I discuss the committee report, I really believe it's important to briefly restate